Just like the marathon, now is the time to sprint, because you have been in a marathon for the past few years or for the past few months when the Dominate or any other Prelims series started. Now the last 45 days is where you need to sprint. Now 10th May should be the last date of your full test. After that, you don't have to attempt any significant number of full tests, for the fact that, let's say you attempt a full test and you get very less marks in it. Now do you think that you have the time to improve on it? No. 60-70% of the questions in the first round itself. Now is that a good strategy? Definitely no, because in the first round what you have to do, you have to only attempt those questions wherein you are 90 to 100% sure that this is factually correct. Hi students, Sreejay Sir here. As all of you know, UPSC is like a marathon race. Now what happens in a marathon race? You don't run significantly faster like in a 100-meter race, or you don't run significantly slower so that the competitors will be way ahead. So what do? You maintain your pace for a significant amount of kilometers. And when the final lap or the last two lap comes, then that is where you actually start sprinting. Just like the marathon, now is the time to sprint, because you have been in a marathon for the past few years or for the past few months when the Dominate or any other Prelims test series started. Now the last 45 days is where you need to sprint. Now that is why you need to have the right plan, because the right plan can get you into the mains, or else you won't be able to clear prelims. Now that is why this video is going to be important, because I'm going to give a detailed plan on what you have to focus in the last 45 days, because it's very important for you to not any mistakes in this final lap, or else it will ruin your whole attempt. Now, what should you do in the 45 days? That's why you're watching this video, right? Now, it can be divided into two phases. The first phase is where from April 11 to 10 May, close to 1 month, we will be doing all the FLTs, all the full-length tests, we'll be doing sectional tests, and we will be revising all the important micro themes. So close to 20 GS FLTs you need to do, close to significant number of sectional tests you have to do for a particular subject, and you need to focus on the micro themes revision in the first phase of revision from April 11 to 10th May. Now 10th May should be the last date of your full test. After that, you don't have to attempt any significant number of full tests, for the fact that, let's say you attempt a full test and you get very less marks in it. Now do you think that you have the time to improve on it? No. And it will significantly demotivate you as well, right? So that's why keep May 10th as your last date. And on the last 14 days, what do you have to focus on? You have to mostly focus on the PYQs. So you have to do the PYQs from the last 12 years. So from 2013 is where I feel the UPSC question quality has significantly improved. So from 2013 to 2025, you have to at least do the papers 2 times. And you have to practice the CSAT papers as well for the last 3 years, from 2023 to 2025, especially the maths questions, as they have become very difficult. Before 2023, the papers was not very difficult, right? So 23 years of CSAT paper plus close to 12 years of GS papers you have to do at least 2 times. Also, that doesn't mean that you have to completely ignore the GS subjects. You have to focus on the micro themes as well. Let's say, for example, you're learning about polity. You can read about the parliament, you can read about the judiciary, and go for the most important topics. That means that you have to revise the current affairs portions as well, right? Now, if I actually dive deeper into the same, now why 20 FLTs is the most important question here, right? Now, why does an aspirant need to do 20 FLTs? Now, it's basically to understand what is my best time management strategy. Let's say, for example, in the first FLT that you attempted, okay, in the first full test you attempted, your first round you completed in 45 minutes. And you did not have time to complete all the 100 questions in 2 hours. So that means that this plan is not working for you. So therefore you try a different method. Now what do? You change the plan to a plan that 1 hour will be my first round. In the 1 hour, first 30 minutes, I'll complete from questions 1 to 50. In the next 30 minutes, I'll complete from questions 50 to 100. So in 1 hour, you have completed your first round. And now in the next 25 minutes, you'll again complete 1 to 50 of the second round. Next 25 minutes, you will complete 50 to 100 of the second round. And in the last 10 minutes, you will be completing your third round. Now you try a different method. Now let's say this is not even working for you. Now what do you do? One round, you do it in the first half an hour. Next half an hour, you do from 1 to 35. Next half an hour, you do from 35 to 70. And the next half an hour, you do from 75 to 100. So there are multiple and different time management strategies out there which you need to figure out while doing this full test. So by close to at least say the 10th full test, okay, by close to the 10th full test, you need to figure out what is your best time management strategy. Now this is the reason why we do the full test. Full test will not help you to understand which particular micro theme that you are lacking, right? Let's say for example, in a full test, only 2 questions will be there from Parliament, or even a single question will be there from Parliament. Let's say if you got this question wrong or you got it correct, will you understand that, okay fine, I'm very good in my Parliament? Or will you understand that, okay fine, I'm very good in my judiciary? आपको पता चलेगा सिर्फ एक क्वेश्चन के वजह से? नहीं, you won't be able to understand, right? That's what I'm telling you. Full test will not help you to identify which particular micro theme that you're weak in. Rather, full test will help you to identify this subject I am weak in, right? Let's say for example, polity pe 15 questions were there in a full test. Out of that, 6 you got correct and 11 you got it incorrect. That means that polity is something weak for you. So it will help you to identify which particular subject that you're weak in. Rather, it won't help you to identify which particular micro theme that you're weak in. That is the reason why in the first phase, we'll also be attempting sectional test. Because if you attend the polity sectional test, and out of that 10 Parliament questions, you got 8 correct and 2 only you got incorrect. That means that Parliament pe aap badhiya hai. Let's say for example, constitutional bodies pe, out of the 10 questions, you only got 4 correct and 6 you got incorrect. That means that constitutional bodies pe aap weak hai, you have to focus more on the constitutional bodies, right? So doing sectional test and doing full test have different objectives. Sectional test pe time management is not a big criteria. Like in full test pe, it's all about getting your time management and your rounds also correct. Right. Now, in the rounds, what do I mean? Now, usually students have this tendency of attempting close to like 60-70% of the questions in the first round itself. Now, is that a good strategy? Definitely no. Because in the first round, what do you have to do? You have to only attempt those questions wherein you are 90 to 100% sure that this is factually correct. Right. So first round is only for the 100% factual questions. Now what do you understand? Let's say when you do all these FLTs, you will have to calculate the accuracy of each and every round. Right. So let's say first round पे 20 question attempt किया, इस पे सिर्फ 15 सही है, बाकी 5 गलत है. So what do you understand? First round पे you are unnecessarily attempting so many questions. So therefore you need to reduce your attempts in the first round. That is one thing you understood. So first, the FLTs is all about understanding how to attempt the paper, what should be your time management strategy, and getting a UPSC environment as well. Let's say Civilsdaily is conducting an open mock test on the 14th of April, right? So when you go to a different school, you sit to someone who you have never seen, you are in an exam hall, invigilators are there. So it will get you that some kind of UPSC environment, which will significantly help you to feel the pressure, a bit of the pressure, and you can stimulate the UPSC environment here. That is also one of the reasons why you attempt the FLTs. So, kitne FLTs karna hai? Close to 20 FLTs. In the 10th FLT, you should have decided what is your proper time management strategy. What is the number of rounds? What is my best number of attempts? Should I go for the third round? Should I attempt all the 100 questions? Is my logical elimination good? Is my intuition good? Am I a very lucky person? So on the basis of that, you can actually decide whether you are going to attempt all the 100 questions or you are going to only attempt those questions wherein you are able to eliminate at least 1/3. Right. Always remember, if you eliminate one option from a question, you should mandatorily be attempting that question. So among A, B, C, D, let's say you eliminated C, then you should definitely be attempting the question. There is no doubt regarding the same. But even if your logical eliminations are very good, your intuitions are very good, you are a very lucky person, then in my opinion, you can attempt all the questions, okay? So time management, rounds, number of attempts, all these you should be deciding by the 10th or 15th full test. Uske आगे है ना, don't go and change your strategy. Even in the exam hall, don't go and change your strategies. Be very consistent with the whatever time management round strategy that you're going to follow. Now, this is the reason why you at least 20 full tests you should be attempting. So question paper strategy, try to make it perfect by close to the 10th full test that you're going to attempt. Okay? Now, moving on to the same. Now, there are two types of revision, or let me put it, there are two methods of revision, right? Now, in our plan, we are dedicating close to 3 days per subject. Okay? 3 days per subject. Let's say, for example, in the week from April 13th to April 21, 1 week, what are we doing? We are doing 2 subjects here. The first 3 days for polity and the next 3 days for environment. Okay, हम ऐसे ही कर रहे हैं. 3 days for polity, 3 days for environment, then followed by 3 days for geography, then 3 days for economy. हम ऐसे कर रहे हैं. So 3 days per subject. इस पे है ना, you can do it in 2 ways. The one is that you study the PMFIs plus the whichever current affairs magazine you are following, or you follow the Shankaray's material or your institute material or any other material plus the current affairs. And after completing all these important micro themes, now what do? Just to make sure that you have understood everything, you take a sectional test on the 3rd day. Now this is one way wherein you go for a content based revision. So you won't be testing yourself more, rather you will be reading the books, you will be revising all the micro themes, and after you are done with the same, then you go and take one sectional test to make sure that you have understood everything. If there is any, but in case of any particular micro theme, your accuracy is very less, then you need to revise it once again. Revise it once again. This is one method. But I usually go for the second method here, which is the test-based revision. Now, in the test-based revision, what do? You don't directly go and read the micro themes once again. Rather, what do? You take close to 3 to 4 sectional tests of environment. When you take the sectional test, you will be able to understand which particular micro theme you are very good in and which particular micro theme which you are very weak in. And only in those micro themes wherein your accuracy is less than 60 or even 70%, what do? You go and revise from your standard book. You go and revise from your standard book. Now, I usually prefer the first one here. I am mostly a test-based person because what I feel is when I read the Lakshmikant one again and again, I feel that mostly I'm doing a very passive reading here. Okay? Mostly I'm only understanding the things that I know. I'm not learning anything new. So I always prefer, and it's also better for you to go for the test-based revisions only. So let's say, for example, in 3 days, you can do 3 polity sectional tests, wherein you will understand which particular micro theme that you are lacking after each and every test, and then you can read the particular micro theme after each and every test. This is what you have to do. Okay, everyone? So these are the 2 different methods. In my opinion, go for the test-based approach. Now, how will a day look like? This is how a week will look like this is what a week should look like for you in the last 45 days. So you should be doing 2 subjects. In our case, it's polity plus environment. At least 4 full test GS. This will be from Monday to Thursday. This will be from Monday to Thursday, followed by a CSAT full test on Friday. So 1 CSAT full test on Friday, and at least 2 to 3 sectional tests per paper. So every day you can see here 1 GS full test, polity micro themes, plus here you can go for 1 sectional test as well. So 1 GS full test a day, 1 sectional test, 2nd GS full test, 2nd sectional test, 3rd full test, 3rd sectional test. But if you're someone who feels that you need to revise once again, then you only need to go for one sectional test as we have provided here. On the third day, to ensure that you have understood everything, you can go for one sectional test. Right? So this is the way you have to do. 1 week, 4 GS full test, 1 CSAT FLT followed by sectional test on a daily basis. Okay? Because when you only do the sectional test, you will be able to understand which particular area that you're weak so that you can focus on that. Right? Again, the second week, economy, 3 days, again GS FLTs followed by sectional as well. So this is how a week should be. Now, so what happens after the 30 days? So from April 11th to the 10th of May, you're going to do complete 20 FLTs, micro themes revision, and the sectional test. So your content is very strong, Abhi. Now, after May 10th, what do you need to do? After May 10th to May 24th, May 24th is our exam. So close to 14 days we have. Okay. So May 10th will be our last FLT. Last FLT. So what do you need to do in the last 14 days? Firstly, you need to do the mostly focus on the PYQs. So PYQs, I mean close to 12 years of GS PYQs from 2013 to 2025, and CSAT pay do from 2023 to 2025. Last 3 years, and here last 12 to 13 years. Right? So 2013 to 2020, not very significant. So at least 2 times you need to do it. But this one from 2021 to 2025, at least 3 times you need to do it. Okay? At least 3 times. And you need to study the PYQ content from 2013 to 2025. Now let me tell you that this is not a big deal here, because most of the questions you must have already studied the content when you revise the static portions. So there will be hardly any 10 questions or many 15 questions per year that you are going to study specifically. Let's say for example, in 2025, the only content that you need to study may be the agriculture commodities introduced by the Portuguese. Social reform movements such as self-respect movement you have already studied. Close to 60 to 70% of the topics you have already studied in the standard books, NCERTs, Polities and Baki Sab. So maybe like 10 to 15 questions will be there in a particular year that you need to study extra. Okay. So that you can do in the last 14 days. Study the additional PYQ content followed by doing the PYQs at least 2 to 3 times. Now you must be wondering, sir, so why should I do the PYQs multiple times? Because I know the answer to the question. Now let me tell you, we are not doing the PYQs just to understand the answer. We are doing the PYQs to basically understand the language of the question, to identify all the logical traps, to get familiar with the logics used by UPSC, and to get familiar with the options asked by UPSC. Right. Now, I have told in multiple sessions that UPSC Prelims is all about understanding the vocabulary. Right. And why did UPSC introduce the word mainly here? Why did UPSC introduce the word primarily, mainly, significantly, can, some? So all these are the words, generally, all these are the different words which actually makes a difference, which actually changes the answer from correct to incorrect. So UPSC also all about identifying that. The UPSC Prelims is all about identifying the patterns and everything. So this is where you should also focus upon. Okay, so do the PYQs at least 2 to 3 times. What do? You do it in a proper manner. You don't have to do it in a time-bound manner like 2 hours or something, because you know the answer to the most of the questions. But just you need to underline, circle, correct, incorrect, all the facts, all the words such as some, may, can, primarily, mainly, all you need to underline and circle and apply the UPSC logics that we have discussed in our logical elimination session as well. This is what you have to do the PYQs 2013 to 2020 at least 2 times, 2021 to 2025 at least 2 to 3 times. 2 times would suffice in my opinion, and focus on the content more here. From 2021 to 2025, you'll have to mostly focus on the content here. Okay, everyone, this is how you should be doing the PYQs. Now, the next most important thing. So this is what after 10th May will look like. Here, you'll be doing the 2025 PYQ. You'll be studying the additional content. 2024 PYQ, you'll be studying the additional content. And one subject per day. You can mostly focus on the polity current affairs here, or any other particular portion polity which you are lacking. Polity current affairs, then 2023 GS, 2022 GS plus the environment micro themes, or the area which you are lacking, or the current affairs of environment, protected sites, submits, anything. Then the next day, 2025 CSAT, 2024 CSAT plus the geography micro themes, 2023 CSAT plus the science and tech micro themes. Then again, we'll be going from 2013 or 2025, 2025, 26 content, micro themes, modern history. So again, and the final day will be 22nd of May, wherein we'll be focusing on the 2025 general studies paper, and we'll be focusing on the 2025 CSAT as well. So this is what you have to do, everyone. Let me tell you, this is by far the best plan out there. So everything we are doing it here, we are doing the PYQs at least 2 times in the last 14 days. We are doing close to 20 FLTs, which will help you to understand what is your time management strategy, what is your round, what is the number of questions that you're going to attempt. We are doing close to sectional test on the basis of what you prefer. We are focusing on the micro themes as well. So these are the different strategies and the aspects that you have to master in the last 45 days. And let me tell you, don't go for any new source starting from today. The only thing that you have to additionally read is the PYQ content that we are going to provide you. Other than that, no significant additional content should be read by you. You should not be shifting now from PMFIS to Shankar IAS magazine. You must not be shifting from whatever current affairs material that you're reading to maybe PT365 or any other. You don't need to learn too much additional content. You don't need to change your sources. When you do the FLTs, you will get some additional information that you can learn. Other than that, you don't have to focus too much on any other new additional information. Okay? So that's just everyone. The last 45 days that I told you, you were jogging all this time, but now it's time to run. You run for your life for the last 45 days. And I hope all of you clear prelims this time and get the chance to write the mains as well. So thank you, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful session, and I hope you have gained significant insights as well. Thank you.